Hey, I'm Justin Baldwin, and welcome to Tequila Tuesday. In fact, this is the first ever episode of Tequila Tuesday. My goal for this is to be a video blog where I review tequilas because I absolutely love tequila, and not for the reason of getting drunk or taking shots. That seems like a complete waste to me, but to really enjoy the nuances and the flavors in different tequilas. So, the first ever tequila for Tequila Tuesday is Teremana. And the reason I chose Teremana, it just came out this past March, and the founder is Dwayne Johnson. The reason that's important, to me at least, is he's the whole reason I ever tried tequila in the first place. I was drinking red wine, and I was seeing his movies and his shows that he was in. He was always talking about tequila, even in the Instagram posts that he was making, tequila, tequila. So I decided to give it a shot. And it's really cool. That's why I chose him to be the first ever. In fact, it's the first tequila, if you flip it on the back, it's the first tequila ever to have a nutrition label on it, telling you exactly what's in it, complete openness. Very cool to me. 100% blue agave. That's very important, as you know or will learn as you go throughout talking about different tequilas. I've chosen the Reposado version of their tequila. I had to special order this because where I live no one had it, so I had to special order it, went and picked it up, and I'm still waiting on their Blanco, so I will do a video later on about that. But Reposado, the reason it has a brown hue to it, if you don't know, is to be classified as Reposado. It's very strict tequila rules, in all honesty, really is. Between 61 and 364 days is how long a tequila can be aged to be called a Reposado. They use old whiskey barrels, so that's where the color is coming from. But again, between 61 and 364 days, the reason I say that is because technically 60 and below is a Blanco. That's going to be the silver that you see that people use a lot in mixed drinks. If it's 365, it would hit a year mark, and then 1 year to 3 years would technically classify it as an añejo. So, sweet spot, Reposado. If you're going to mix Reposado in a drink, me personally, I like grapefruit, a lot of more bitter mixes to go in it, more bitter juices to go in it. But that's going to be dependent on your personal palate and your, once you taste it, kind of what you choose, what you want, and just kind of what your taste is. So, Teremana, Terra is the earth and Mana is the Polynesian spirits. If you know anything about Dwayne Johnson, both those things are really important to him. So, Teremana is the spirit of the earth. What's really cool is that the agave plants, after they cut them, by the way, they get them out of the Jalisco highlands way, way, way up. After they get those, they cook them in a brick oven. And that's the very, very traditional way to cook it. Takes a little bit longer and gives it a much better taste, which is I can appreciate because I like the taste of tequilas. Also, the agaves that they use, after they use what they can, the remaining is ground up and turned into compost that they use to fertilize their agave fields, which is really, really cool in my opinion, not wasting anything. Also, the NOM number is 1613. The NOM number lets you know who the distillery was. And what I like is some distilleries make a bunch of different tequilas, which is okay, but this is their own NOM number. No one else on planet Earth has this because they built their own distillery. And the distillery that Teremana comes from only makes Teremana. That's really, really cool to me if you're into that sort of a thing. No other bottled tequila on planet Earth will have the same 1613 NOM number. And like I said, it's 100% agave. That's the best tequilas are 100% agave. And what's really cool on the bottom of this bottle, if you were to sound out this symbol right here, it is the names of his younger daughters. So, really, really cool in my opinion. Teremana, Gratitude Tequila. It's also gluten-free, certified gluten-free, and there are ways that it would not be, but I don't have time to go into all that. So it's really cool to me, and I really like the fact that, especially in today's climate, everyone being interested in, helping other people, especially small businesses. The copper pot stills that the tequila is distilled in, and I'll talk more in depth later as to why the copper pot stills are important, but they're made by a local artisan in Jalisco in Mexico. So that's really, really cool that he's going out and allowing others in the community to make the copper pot stills that they're distilled in, and the copper pot stills make it a smoother and cleaner tequila. So that's important if you care about the flavor and you're not just taking tequila for shots. So without further ado, I have a really cool glass here that I found. It's you put a rubber wedge in it, fill it with water, and it freezes a ice wedge in it. So you can do it dry, which would mean no ice at all. Or you can do it on the rocks, which obviously, due to the circumstances, you probably have guessed means with ice. So very, very extremely smooth. A lot of people might be worried about drinking tequila with nothing to kind of water it down, I would say, but extremely, extremely smooth. Again, part of that is from the fact that they use copper pot stills in the distilling process. A little bit of oak in there, I would say, and just a little bit of vanilla, maybe. Has a great nose on it as well. Doesn't really smack you in the face like some other tequilas do. It doesn't burn on the way down. Very smooth, very well made, in my opinion. Again, this is the Reposado version, but they do make right now a Blanco. As of yet, they do not make a Añejo rendition. I believe they will, just because of Dwayne Johnson's love for tequila, but like I said earlier, for it to be called an Añejo, it has to be aged between 1 and 3 years. So, in all honesty, if I had to guess, I would say that's currently being aged right now, but it launched in March, so I just don't think that they've been able to age tequila long enough to come out with a Añejo rendition. But Teremana, the first ever Tequila Tuesday tequila, has a bottle number right here, and handcrafted from Highlands agave, like I said, from Jalisco. Quick rundown again: the only first tequila to have a nutrition label on the back. Complete, open, honest. I love the way that they make sure they don't waste anything, using their agave plants that they don't use for compost to fertilize their agave fields. Really, really great, in my opinion. Hope you guys have enjoyed the first ever Tequila Tuesday. I definitely recommend you go out and try it. It's a great price point. Price is going to vary, based on who you get it from. I've seen it for $29 and $32. The Reposado being the $32 version, because it's more expensive to make it, because it's aged. But definitely go out and try it. This is a 750 milliliter bottle that I would recommend. And on the top, it has instead of a wooden cork like you might expect, it's a black, I don't think it's wood, but I'm not sure what it's made out of, to be honest. But it's definitely not the traditional wooden cork like you would expect. And has a logo on the top as well. Definitely go out and try it. You can probably find it. I will say, if you go out and try to find it now, it might be difficult. An online company that I like to use called Tequila, free plug, doesn't have the Blanco. So I have an ABC store that I had to go out and get them to put it in their order. So hopefully I'll be able to get that here soon so I can go over that with you guys. But also, before I forget, he said, as in Dwayne Johnson said, that he wanted to, the bottle was important, kind of shaped like him. So he got a wide neck, broad shoulders, and it kind of tapers at the waist. If you know, if you've ever seen his movies, he is always cast as the big, gigantic muscle guy. So that makes sense with the bottle. But again, you can try this by itself, and it's very smooth, has a great taste to it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for letting me to try this for you guys. I will see you next Tuesday for episode 2 of Tequila Tuesday. Drink responsibly and go out and enjoy some Teremana.